Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about how to add your spouse after you've received your passport request by IRCC. Husband and I were in a similar situation where he got his passport request right after our marriage. So I thought of making a detailed step-by-step video to help anyone who's in a similar situation in the future. So the first thing that you have to do is raise a web form and inform IRCC about the change in your marital status. What we did was we also attached our marriage certificate to make it more legitimate. So once IRCC acknowledges your request, they'll be giving you 30 days and sending you all the next steps that you have to do along with the forms that you have to fill. The first step that is paying the processing fee. This processing fee involves the application fee of your spouse or CLP, right of permanent residence fee, and biometric. The total comes out to be $1,450. Make the payment, please keep the receipt handy as you will have to later upload it to your account. Second step is clicking a recent picture of your spouse or CLP. The photograph has to be taken as per IRCC specifications shared by them. Now, coming to the most important part of the process are the different forms that you have to fill and share. The first form that you have to fill is the generic application form, which is to be filled by the primary applicant and the spouse or CLP. The generic application form has all your basic details, your national identity card, the color of your eye, color of your hair, the countries you've resided in, all the basic information about yourself. Second form is the additional family information form. This again has to be filled by the primary applicant and the spouse or CLP. This form has all the details of your family, which involves your parents, your brothers and sisters. The third form is Schedule A background or declaration. This form is quite exhaustive. You have to backtrack on all the addresses that you've stayed in for more than 6 months, the countries you've resided in, your education background, where you're working currently, etc. Coming to the fourth form is the supplementary travel information form. This form will have all the countries you've traveled to after you've turned 18, all the countries you've resided in for more than 6 months, etc. Now, for common law partners, there's another form called the Statutory Declaration of Common Law Union, which has to be filled by people who are in a common law relationship. Coming towards the documents that are required, first is the valid passport of your spouse or CLP. Second is the birth certificate of your spouse or CLP. Third is the copy of your marriage certificate. Fourth, if your spouse or CLP was married before, then a divorce certificate. Coming to the next step is the police certificate. Again, this is one of the most important certificate that you have to acquire. So you have to upload the scanned copy of your police certificate from all the countries where your spouse or CLP has lived for more than 6 months after turning 18. In India, you can apply for your police certificate by just going to Passport Seva website and click on the police certificate application. Coming to the next step, there are two relationship questionnaires which are supposed to be filled by the primary applicant and also the spouse or CLP. The relationship questionnaire would have questions about your relationship and the different timelines of your relationship. I would suggest please ensure all your answers match or at least are in sync with the timeline. The next is providing evidence of your relationship. This is the part where you prove that your relationship is legitimate. For doing this, you have to upload 10 to 15 pictures of your relationship, be it pictures with your spouse, the travels you've taken, rituals from your wedding, etc. If you're living with your partner or you are in a common law union, then you would need copy of your bills, copy of your bank statement, copy of your driving license, which has the same address. Again, 10 to 15 documents that would prove that your relationship is legitimate. So what you do is you compile all this information as a part of one PDF and upload it along with your form. Once IRCC has reviewed your forms, they'll come to you with the next request, which is the medical certificate and biometric. This brings us to the next most important document, which is your medical certificate. The spouse or CLP and the dependent children, whether or not they are accompanying you to Canada, must go through a medical examination by CIC approved medical panelists. Biometrics, you have to get your fingerprint scan and get a picture taken at a verified VFS center. When you're going for your biometrics, please remember to carry your biometric request letter and also your valid passport. In my case, I had traveled to Bangalore to get my medicals and biometric because Nagpur did not have CIC approved medical centers or biometric centers. If you are also from a city where you do not have local biometric or medical centers, you can access the link shared by IRCC where there are all the different centers that you can go to and get your medicals and biometrics done. Medicals and biometrics will be directly sent to IRCC by their respective centers. Once all your details are verified by IRCC and they have no doubts, they'll give you the next request, which is the passport request. For passport request, you have to get ready to send your passport. Your passport should be at least 6 months valid and should have two blank pages. Both the primary applicant or the spouse will have to send their passports to a VFS center, but you have to create two different envelopes which will have your request letter, your passport, and the two pictures that you had clicked as per IRCC specification. Once your passport is stamped and it's returned to you, the next step and the final step would be receiving your confirmation of PR by IRCC. The biggest things to note here is that in our process, the timeline was really different because it was COVID time and the processing time was really long, but it can be very different for you. But overall, the process would be the same for anyone who is going to add their spouse after receiving their passport request. I hope you found this video informative and this helps you in any way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.